Hey everybody, thank you for joining us on the TWNRGY Podcast.
Thank you very much.
What? I just wanted to give you guys some tips on where to find us. The main thing, well, obviously you found us if you're watching this, but...
you found us, thank you. We were lost for a little while.
Search, first one is YouTube. Go on YouTube and search TWNRGY, TWNRGY. And also do the same thing on Facebook, search TWNRGY. And then also we have a Patreon account. Or first off, we have an Instagram account. Do it for the gram, y'all. Gram it up. Grammy season's coming up. Yeah, folks. Get those grams.
Award-winning.
Likes, comments, whatever. But yeah, search for us on Instagram. Search TWNRGY. And then also Patreon. We have a Patreon account. That website is www.patreon. And it'll be /TWNRGY. And on Patreon, you'll be able to see our videos, and you'll have an opportunity to contribute if you'd like, whether it's monthly or a one-time contribution. There is expenses that are factored into this, whether it's posting and other things of that sort. But if not, feel free to continue to watch us for free and enjoy the material that we put out. And Adam has some other information in regards to how you can find us.
All right. The other things you could do to find a place to, say, listen to us on is go on Apple iTunes, go on that search bar, type in TWNRGY, TWNRGY, and then our podcast will pop up. Also, the same for Spotify. Just type in our TWNRGY name. It'll come up. And then go on Stitcher. It'll come up and you'll find us, and you could download an app for Stitcher and Spotify on your phone. This way it makes it easy. You get there, you're on the go.
Yeah, if you have Apple, it's already on the phone, I believe.
Yeah, you already have the Apple iTunes app on there. So yeah, Apple, Android,
whatever you have, what your affiliation, just
whatever site you find yourself on. Download Stitcher or Spotify app. Type in TWNRGY and you'll find us.
And once you do find us on YouTube, if you could subscribe, that'd be amazing. It's just as good as contributing financially sometimes.
You can subscribe on iTunes as well.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Don't forget that.
Leave comments, leave suggestions.
We're open for it.
Open, ready for any suggestions and comments that you may have. Just let us know. We'll continue to bring information about health and wellness. And just want to say thanks again for listening to us. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Adam Fernandez.
With the TWNRGY Podcast. Love you guys. Take care.
Take care. Love you. What up, everybody? Thank you for joining the TWNRGY Podcast. We got Aaron over here. Got Adam right here.
Hey, Ron.
Boom, boom. Do it, man. And so, yeah, we're going to start out today. Our podcast is going to be kind of how to mitigate stress. Stress is something that we all have in our lives, whether it's from family, friends, work,
brothers,
diet, big brothers,
little brothers.
And stress, from diet or even from like working out, like just from that.
So you gain your muscles, you stress those muscles, you tear them up, and then they get big. Nothing good comes from something that was easy. You always have a difficult path to get.
Yeah, so and then like kind of working out stress, that's kind of good. I'd say it's good on your body to an extent, as long as somebody's not overdoing it and just kind of beating themselves up to nothing. But it's good to get that strength and become stronger. And also, I guess
sauna too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, as things can also be said the same for, say, stress from family, friends, or whatever, because with that being said, that a little bit, as long as it's a little bit, like just kind of mitigate the amount, but just kind of that stress kind of get you better situated for future kind of things that might be popping up in your life, and you might better understand things. So stress can be good, but within moderation. So it's up to us to get stress, mitigate it, and mitigate it in responsible ways. Say, being a better person, surrounding yourself with responsible people.
Why are you hanging out with me then?
I know, man. I'm not very responsible over here. And maybe working a little bit harder, so maybe you're not stressing about your job. And also being grateful for the things that you do have in your life, because a lot of times...
Keep a gratitude journal.
Yeah, because a lot of times people aren't focused on the moment. They're thinking about things that they don't have, so they're stressing, okay, I gotta do this in order to attain this better job, a boat, whatever it is. So they're stressing. So if you kind of think in the moment, think about you have your family, you have friends,
You have your health.
you have a house, a roof over your head, you have a job, and it's just you're able to focus on the moment and not stress as much.
Yeah, that's how I try to mitigate stress. To try to be mindful in the moment. It doesn't always work out that way. I got our little Buddha over here,
Baby Buddha.
Baby Buddha from Thailand. He helps keep me focused. Like, all right, guy, be in the moment.
And your workstation right here.
My little workstation / podcast station.
So, but a majority of the times we create our own stress. Maybe an example of that would be somebody who has like a credit card. They're just overextending themselves, creating massive debt, and then they have financial stresses where they're worried about how am I going to pay my bills? Am I going to file for bankruptcy? It's just, but if they were responsible and didn't rake up these charges on their credit card, they wouldn't have these financial stresses. And the person that they have to blame the most is them, because they're the ones that put them in that situation. Maybe there's unforeseen circumstances where they didn't have a good upbringing, somebody didn't teach them how to save properly, but all in all, it's on that person to try to do the best that they can do to not put themselves in this stressful situation. So, but we just have to be honest with ourselves where our stress comes from or originates, because if we're not honest with ourselves about our stress, we're never going to get to the root of our problems and try to be able to alleviate the stress that we do have in our lives. So be honest with yourself. Otherwise, going to be in that same rut, just kind of going, chasing your tail like a dog and putting yourself in bad situations. So, but today we're going to talk about the origins of stress, ways to alleviate stress, and also share some stories about stress in our lives. So, So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Aaron. And see what he has to say.
All right. As Adam said, there's so many triggers on a daily basis throughout our day that create stress in our life, whether it's friends, family, whether it's your commute to work, it's work itself, or even the pay you get from a honest day's work. It creates a lot of stress in our day-to-day lives. And I'm not saying that work is the main focus of a lot of our stresses, but it just leads to my first subject, which is work. And just think about it, like individuals, whether it's a promotion coming up, a lot of people have anxiety about it. Like, oh, am I going to get that promotion? Whether it's someone who just retired, it's a new position created, or it's just an opportunity for you to move up. People are stressing out. Like, have I been doing well at work? Am I pulling my weight? Am I pulling others' weight? And so a lot of the times, if you have to worry about that, more than likely you're not doing what you need to do to be successful at work. And if you did do that, if you didn't just meet expectations, you exceeded expectations, then you know that you're like the front runner for that promotion.
You don't have to worry, you don't have to stress about it.
Yeah, but you know when you're doing the nefarious things at work, surfing the web, checking that dating app, searching around on your phone, more than likely you're not going to get that promotion. You know it, but you're stressing about it. You want that promotion, it would be look great on your resume, great on your LinkedIn, like, man, look at my new position. I got a couple vowels after it. EVP, VP, MVP, whatever it may be for the promotion. But a lot of the times we're our own worst enemy.
Also has to do with productivity in general.
Yeah.
Whether you're just producing for a company, aside from being off task, it's just being able to get things done in a quick manner and correctly.
But if you're off task, you're not able to do that.
So, well, I mean, you could also be on task and just not be a very focused person, and not do very well, not put out a lot of errors, and just be very slow at what you do.
Yeah, just be kind of a knucklehead. And it could stem from your training, but at the end of the day, if you feel you're underperforming, then do what you need to do. Talk to your boss, talk to your manager. Hey, what can we do so I can get less errors, so I can work harder, so I can be more productive? It all boils down to you. Same thing when raises come around every time of the year. Like, there's a certain time of the year wherever you work, for the most part, that it's raise time. It's where you get your merit increase, whatever they call it. Every different company has a different name for it. But then you start worrying, like, man, did I meet expectations? What was my last review like? And when you start worrying about those things, more than likely you're not going to get the higher raise that you're anticipating. But at the end of the day, it boils down to you and your performance, like your productivity, you ultimately choose how great of a worker you are. And I'll be honest, we all can improve how we work on a daily basis. Be more productive. Be
a better person.
Yeah, treat people with respect. It's not just about being productive. It's about treating your coworkers with respect, because when you treat them with respect, they're more willing to help you, which makes your job easier instead of being a freaking knucklehead and treating everybody all rudely.
Not that you have to just be nice to expect something back, but it makes their lives a lot easier, and it makes your life a lot easier to be a better person to be around while you're at work or any aspect of life.
Yeah, just kill them with kindness, and things will go a lot more smoother, and you'll maybe be more productive at work. Who knows? But then also maybe with work, you're dealing with the stress of an overbearing boss, always cracking that whip, being rude, whatever the case may be. Maybe he's cracking the whip because you're late every day. Maybe he's cracking the whip because your productivity, or even just like your work, not necessarily your productivity, but your quality of work as well. So fix those things. Notice those things. If you hear the boss complaining about those things on a regular basis, take those out of his arsenal, so he can't harp on you about that. So, and then you're stressing about going to work every day because your boss is always harping on you. When you work on those things, you're not going to have to worry about it. The stress will be gone because you nipped it in the bud. But the next one I want to talk about, and Adam kind of alluded to it earlier, but financial stress. I think that's probably the main stress that, at least here in the United States, that we put on ourselves, because
breaks up a lot of marriages.
Woo!
That's one thing.
Good grief. Because think about it. America is a consumeristic society. Also, our whole economy is based on consumerism. So everywhere you look, everywhere you flip on your phone, you're watching TV.
Buy now.
You're like, there's deals.
2 for 1.
20% off. Limited time offer. And all those are
President's Day sale.
Bam! Get your mattress. 50% off. But everybody's always getting marketed to. So it's kind of hard I'll say in the United States, it's hard not to get into financial trouble just because of the sheer abundance of marketing and sales and pitches that are in our face all the time. So what happens is that we fall victim to these purchases. We make these little purchases, whether it's we want to get that new outfit for that club we're going to, or hanging out with friends, is whatever the case may be. So you want to look good, you want to look cool, or you just want to look good on a regular basis. So you're always constantly buying the latest and greatest trends when it comes to clothing, even electronics. They have these new phones like every 9 months. You're like, man, this is the best phone.
Every 6 months, like iPhone has 2 a year.
And like everybody wants to have the coolest, latest, and greatest phone, keep up with those Joneses. And they're like, man, this is the best iPhone. You can fold it, you can bend it, it takes pictures of itself. It's the best one since the last one I bought 6 months ago. It's like, is it really that great where the phone you just bought 6 months ago is obsolete and you need that new one? They put a lot of money into the marketing and convincing you that you need to buy these products. And they don't care. They get their money at the end of the day. But you're the one who suffers when you see that statement, like, oh shoot, how am I gonna pay this $2,000?
Extra $60 a month. Like if you do the installments of people purchasing phones, it's like an extra $60 a month on your phone bill just to pay for that phone, and then that one's obsolete, and then you have another $60 on top of that. You're paying 2 payments on one phone you don't even use that you threw away or gave to somebody.
Yeah, just like all these little purchases add up. Whether you're buying all these clothes, buying all these electronics, or just even eating out on a daily basis. You eat out a couple of times. Get that morning coffee, that $8 coffee at Starbucks. You don't even finish it, so $2 is left in that cup.
But I'm in a rush. I need to pick up something quick. I have to eat out. I can't prepare stuff at home.
We all make excuses just to justify what we're doing. But then at the end of the day, like I said, it puts us in a financial hardship. It ruins our credit. Like Adam was saying, like with relationships, that's a big reason why people have issues in relationships is because of finances. Whether or not you guys want to save, and like you just make all these purchases.
Don't have money for a vacation. Don't have money to get a new car. The other one's a beater.
Yeah, because you're like, man, they start arguing like, why don't we have any money? We never have any money. We're never getting out of this crappy apartment. So people just bickering back and forth because of finances, and we create these issues when it comes to stress on our pocketbook. But it's the society that we live in here in the United States, and it's vastly going all around the world. Consumerism, purchase. But anyways, one other stress that I want to talk about is the stress that we bring upon ourselves every day in our physical body. And a lot of us want to work hard, play hard, which is fine. It's cool. We work a lot, and so you just want to enjoy your time when you're not working. But people burn the candle at both ends, eat what they want, go to, like Adam was saying, out of convenience. We hit up that fast food spot, we hit up that coffee spot in the morning, and that all these coffees, you know, like these caramel frappuccinos, all these like this crap tons of sugar in them, and we're destroying our body, like getting less sleep because, like we said, we want to work hard, play hard, and we deprive ourselves of sleep. So all these little things we're doing, we're eating, we're putting in our body, or like a lot of people are getting kidney issues, so they're getting dialysis from all these sweets. Well, we want to treat ourselves, live the best life, but how is something a treat when you have it every other day or every day? Like for me, maybe my treat is ice cream. I don't eat ice cream that often.
Been months.
It's been months. So when I do have it, it is a treat because it's been 3 months since I've had ice cream or whatever the case may be. But when you have ice cream going through the fridge, all right,
This is my weekend treat.
I don't know, is it a Rocky Road night? Is it a mint chip night? I don't know. Butterfinger, bam. So like when you're treating yourself on a daily basis and you have every color of the rainbow of ice cream in your freezer, then yeah. So long story short, we're beating up our body with all these sugars, causing inflammation, causing stress. The stress that we're creating is maybe say that you're an active person. You're unable to be able to go do the things you used to do. So you're like kind of feeling bad. You're like, I don't know, my leg hurts, my this hurts, my that hurts. So I'm not able to get out there and do my thing, get after it, as we say. But it's stresses that we create in our body based on our laziness. Of like just wanting to eat anything we see, purchase whatever we see drink wise, and even whether it's alcohol, partying excess. Yeah, like
Partying too hard, ruining the next day, just putting that extra stress on your body, and just feeling like trash.
So
not fun.
That stressing our body is a big issue that we all have that we need to take more care of. Because if we enjoy life and we enjoy doing certain things, you need a body, you need a good vessel. Your body is your temple, so take care of it. But the one main thing out of all these 3 stress issues that I talked about, whether it's work, finances, or health, the common denominator is you. It's me. It's Adam. We're the ones who regulate, as Adam said earlier, the stresses that are in our life. Like we choose to be in this job position. So if we're choosing to be in that job position, we need to carry our weight, work hard. And we're the ones who get the money, and we're the ones who decide where it goes. So if you're putting yourself into a bad financial situation month after month, day after day, it's you who you have to blame. Same thing with the foods. If you're eating all these crappy foods, you are the one to blame. So look internally, be introspective.
Take care of yourself. Don't do too many treats. Don't stress your body out physically in that regard.
Hashtag living my best life.
It's like, oh, my knee hurts.
I know, that's what happens. You don't think about the long-term repercussions. It's a short-term bliss that you get. Moment on your lips, lifetime on your hips, baby.
Hipping it up.
Bam. Throw back to Adam.
All right. All right, everybody. I'm going to start talking about my next section. Just kind of share some stories about stress, say, within my life throughout the years.
Aesop's fables or what?
Aesop.
Good stories, man.
Learn a lesson from each story.
Shel Silverstein? I can't even pronounce
Shel Silverstein. Say that 10 times fast.
Was it Light in the Attic? What was it?
Light in the Attic. Or Window. I don't know.
Either way, they were good books back in the day. Good stories.
Oh, Where the Sidewalk Ends.
There you go. That's the one.
There's a few.
Dr. Seuss.
But, yes, kind of just different stories about stress. Recently, Aaron had asked me about a book that I had purchased like 15 years ago, Fast Food Nation. I read it, and then he kind of wanted to read it. So I was going through my room, looking under my bed, looking in closet, looking in boxes, looking in shelves.
The mattress.
And
did you?
I already said that. And then I just kind of became a little bit stressed, a little anxious. Like, where's this damn book? It should be where I have all my other stuff. But apparently I misplaced it. Couldn't find it. And after looking for it for 30 minutes, kind of just gave up.
Started crying.
And started crying.
I gave me a little tissue.
As usual. But, I mean, then within about an hour, that stress and anxiety kind of subsided. I didn't feel bad anymore and just kind of thought about it logically. I just looked it up. It was like a $5 used book. If I cared about it that much, I can just go and buy a $5 book to replace it. Not that I just want to be buying things to replace stuff, but I mean, it's a simple solution to that like insignificant problem. I can't find a book. Wow, it's not the end of the world. But I just like to keep track of my things. But so that was just that's one story
Place
about
for everything and everything in its place.
place.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Bam!
For all I know, it's at my parents' house in a box. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to check. But and then another story is in college. I used to procrastinate when it came to studying for exams or even turning in homework on time. So that would in turn create a little bit of stress.
My homework. I don't know.
I still turned it in, but I was just being a little bit stressed out, or like, okay, am I going to do well on this exam? Am I going to do well on my homework? Am I going to be able to finish it for tomorrow? How am I going to do?
You're better at math than me.
Yeah.
Way better. So he did well on his test for math. I don't know about other classes.
I did decent. Did well. Passed. But just looking back, I really had no one else to blame but myself about having to stress about
You blamed me a couple times.
Probably.
Man, you distracted me, Aaron. Get out of my room,
Come on,
dude.
get out of here.
I got a bad grade because you interrupted me every time.
And so, yeah, just with that, it's just myself to blame. And looking back on it, what I should have done, maybe set aside a week before the exam, study each day in order to help myself be better prepared. And then with the homework assignment, maybe I should have done it 3 days before, started in a bit, like working on it and figuring things out, and not just waiting till the last night before it's due the next morning, going in there and turning it in.
I remember those nights, those last night cramming sessions, homework, tests, whatever it may be. I don't welcome those.
Oh yeah, so I mean that's just kind of stress that I brought upon myself that really didn't need to be there, and maybe I was just doing other things, thinking about having a good time, thinking about that. But if you have a goal that you want to attain, focus on what you need to do to make it happen and not have to alleviate the stress at any cost. So, and then my final story is something kind of more current. Is at times
a book thing was pretty current as the other week, dude.
That book was current. Yeah, and that's just saying another event. Just to show that I still have stress in my life. I mitigated a lot, but I try not to incur new stresses. But like one thing I've learned over the past couple of years is not to incorporate too many things in a day, because sometimes it comes to the weekend and then I set things up. I want to do this, I want to do that, go see that person, see that other person. And so with that being said, I kind of stress myself out a bit, maybe get a little anxious, like constantly looking at time. What time is it?
I hit the sauna in the morning, gotta go on bike ride, gotta make breakfast,
so it's
gotta
just
meet friends.
Always boom, boom, boom. Just allotting small little amounts of time to do things that maybe I enjoy a little more. And with that being said, like I said, stress, and then kind of looking at the situation, what I really should do, instead of doing, say, 5 things in a day, I should focus on the 3 things that I'm going to get the most out of. This way,
good idea.
This way I'm not stressing to make sure this is done, that done, or the other. And it's just kind of spending a lot of time with this, maybe with friends or family doing this thing, or maybe spending time by myself to do this other thing, or spending time with whoever doing that. So it's just kind of being in the moment and not stressing out and getting all worked up just to try to fit in 5 different things.
It leads to anxiety. You're talking about how you're thinking about the future, because when you're doing one activity and you have 5 more to do, you're like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and so you're not as present and mindful of what you're doing currently, and then so it causes that stress instead of just bringing bliss and joy, which it should be when you're hanging out or doing whatever you like to do.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say. Yeah, just you don't get the most out of that situation. It just kind of comes and goes, and you kick to the wayside, and then you try to look back on it, and maybe you've done so much, like, well, did I even do this, or what went on? But just kind of slow down a bit in order to alleviate that emotional stress on yourself and enjoy better times. That's what I'd say. So those that fits in with the story.
Pump those brakes, baby.
Pump it up, baby. Slow it down. But those are the stories that I wanted to share, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it back on to Aaron, and he's going to go on to his other section.
Stories galore over here, man. No, I definitely agree with that stressing story. Like, one thing that, at least with this coronavirus that Adam and I have realized, I speak for myself, that I've realized is kind of slow down and just the things that bring the most joy to me in my day-to-day life, focus on those. I don't need to spread myself so thin and try to do this, try to do that. I like to stay active and healthy, so but I also like to be by the beach. So I'll go on a bike ride, and that's my workout on the weekends. So or part of my workout on the weekends, but just trying to mitigate the stresses that I create and just focus on what brings me as much pleasure or happiness throughout the day.
Good.
I'll jump on to my next section. Now I'm just going to kind of go over a couple situations that can help mitigate your stress so you're not stressing out as much as you typically are. Like, stresses are going to come regardless if you plan for them or don't plan for them. But I'll say 2 ways you don't want to try to mitigate stress is by smoking. I know so many people they start getting stressed out. They're like, I'm going to have a smoke. I'm going to walk out.
It's a habit, man. It's like getting into that.
And same thing with drinking. Like, if you've been watching Mad Men and Don Draper, he has an issue, head straight for the bottle.
For a little bit.
The thing is, when you get lit, you get all drunk, you get buzzed, whatever the case may be, you forget about those issues.
Well, the next day, you have a hangover and your problems are still there.
So your issues are mounting. Alcohol and cigarettes do not help. They just cause long-term damage.
And then your mind's not even clear to try to alleviate the situation that you're trying to deal with.
So you're like, I'm hungover, whatever. So those are not good ways to mitigate stress. Maybe someone might disagree. To each their own. No judgments here. But there are better, more productive ways. The first one I feel that helps me the most is meditation. And so what I'll do, and I'm strong enough to not let every little issue stress me out, but maybe if there's something that's really stressing me out or just something that I really need to think about, then I'll go ahead and maybe take 10 to 15 minutes out of my day and do a little bit of meditation. Like, I do meditation when I'm not stressed out, and sometimes I'll do it when I am stressed out. But what I'll do is just I'll go find somewhere that's quiet, and if you work in an office where there is nowhere quiet, then go in your car. If you can, take your 10-minute break and go jump in your car for a little bit and do what I'm going to explain about. But yeah, find somewhere quiet, sit down, lay down, whatever the case may be, close your eyes, and then just start slowly inhaling through your nose and then slowly exhaling through your mouth. And just do that just continue to do that. In through your nose slowly, out through your mouth. And then also just try to let your mind wander. In the very beginning, don't focus on what's bothering you, because obviously you want to try to get away from it. But then maybe start thinking of what does make you happy, whether you like going on a bike ride, you like playing video games, you like hanging out with your family, you like hanging out with your friends, whatever the case. Try to focus on that while you're continuing your slow inward breathing and exhaling slowly as well.
Or even come up with solutions to your problem.
That's a good way.
Like, just sit there and kind of hey, what can I do to be better in this situation? How can I fix it?
Is it really so significant? Why am I stressing out? It just gives you an opportunity, like a mental vacation in a sense. So you're relaxing your body, you're calming down, and you get an opportunity. Like I said, do this for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on what you have, what time you have, where you're at, and it'll definitely help to benefit you. For me, it's calming. I stay relaxed. My heart rate goes down. And also, I was looking there was a PubMed study that showed that people who do meditate they tend to lower their cortisol levels. And what cortisol is, it's a chemical that your body produces when you're stressed out, causes headaches, causes weight gain, causes all sorts of blood issues, whether you have high blood pressure, and it degrades your body in the long run. So
it's crazy to think how many things that stress affects within our bodies.
Yeah, your eating habits, your stomach.
Binge eating because you're stressed.
I know. Comfort food. Gotta get that comfort food, man.
Binge drinking.
Hashtag living my best life.
Do it.
And treat yourself all the time. But with meditation, helps. Studies have shown that it helps to bring down your cortisol levels, which in turn helps to bring down stress. So it's a great way to mitigate it. And plus, you're not paying $20 a pack for cigarettes or $15 for a 6-pack of beer.
That's still cheaper for cigarettes than it is in Australia.
Yeah,
I think it's $50 a pack or something.
Arm and a leg. But so it's meditation. It's free. It's just the only thing it costs you is your time. Is your time available, or is your time worth it to take care of your health For me, yes, it is. I'll take 10 minutes out of my day to better my mental well-being, to lower the stress. But you make the ultimate decision whether or not you want to do that. But meditation, like I said earlier, we got a little Buddha here.
Meditating, focusing, calming down.
Yeah, calming down, trying to enlighten ourselves, get our mind right so we can function better and help others. But the other way to mitigate stress kind of alludes to what Adam and I had already talked about, but it's about having more control of and cleaning up your, sorry about that. It's just basically having more control over your spending. Like we said earlier, finances are a big reason why we encounter stress on a daily basis, but create a budget. I'm sure a lot of people, I don't even know what the heck a budget means. But
budget? Isn't that a rental car place?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Matter of fact, it is. But what you need to do is take into account how much you make on a weekly basis, monthly basis, whatever the case may be, and set parameters for yourself. Like, all right, on the weekends, I'm only going to spend $100. Whatever the amount is, I'm just throwing obscure numbers, or
an even round number.
Yeah, $100. So every weekend, whatever the case, that counts dinners, going out, entertainment, whatever the case may be. And the same thing with food. Like, maybe set budgets at the grocery store. Like, I'm only going to spend this amount, and I'm not going to buy all these extra odds and ends that you typically buy. Budgeting helps you to save money instead of just continually spend it. And if you're saving money and you have a lot of debt, you can start to bring that debt down. And in the process of bringing that debt down, you're going to bring down those stress levels as well. So it's awesome, because once you do get control of those finances, it's like I'll say a snowball effect, because what happens is that you're all, man, this feels so good. I finally got control of my taxes. What else can I get control of? Oh, maybe my temper. I can calm down my attitude, or maybe get control of my eating habits. I want to be a little bit healthier. I want to look good. Summer's coming up. I want that beach
body, baby. 2020.
Sun's out, guns out. So it's like a snowball effect, and it's contagious. You want to better yourself in all facets, not just finances. But it's just, I'll say, have control over your spending, create budgets, and set parameters for your spending. Don't buy everything that you like, everything you see. And when you do tend to stick to your budgets and even spend less than what you have budgeted, you feel better, because you're not stressed out that you see this mountain of debt that is created week after week, month after month, year after year, and it just seems insurmountable. You'll never get away from it unless you file for bankruptcy. But when you file for bankruptcy, you can create more stress, because you're never going to be able to buy anything, because your freaking credit score is going to go down the tubes. But learn how to budget, and you'll relieve a lot of stress in your day-to-day life. So
I agree.
With your significant other, you won't be arguing about money anymore. You're just going to be arguing about, why didn't you put a new roll of toilet paper on the roll? That's the only argument.
Find something else to argue about, I guess.
Yeah, it won't be finances. Learn how to budget. But then also, just kind of one other way to alleviate a lot of stress, kind of in regards to the eating habits, is clean up your eating habits. Try to eat a little bit more healthy. Create healthier options. Create by going to the store, buying certain things, or if you do choose to go out for fast food because time is of the essence, or you're on a baller on a budget, whatever the case may be, go ahead and make healthier options. Whether you go to Waba Grill, you can get those steamed veggies over there. I like it. Get a little bit of that chili sauce, throw it on there, and some avocados as well. And just make healthier options when you do buy fast food. And you'll feel amazing once you do change your eating habits. I find that when I do eat better in regards to not eating burgers and fries and hot dogs and all that kind of stuff, I eat a lot of mainly vegetable based, but I have more energy. It's sustained throughout the day. I'm not always eating.
Having to refuel multiple times throughout the day.
Yeah, and my body's not digesting it, which usually when you have a big meal, and it's happened to me before. I remember Adam and I went to this one hamburger spot years ago with our parents, and we were going to go work out afterwards. We got like this freaking, quarter pound, half pound, big freaking burger with an egg in
on
it.
top, freaking fries and everything.
I know, and then we got home and we passed out.
It's like a nap, man. Too much food.
And that's when I realized eating really heavily, that's what a lot of us do, but eating really heavily weighs on your weighs on your energy and it brings you down. And I like to be out and about, I like doing things. So that's why that's part of the reason, aside from just being overall healthier, but just my energy levels and being able to enjoy life more is why I've changed my eating habits. It's brought down my stress levels where I didn't take a nap, miss something, I'm like stressed out, oh shoot, I was supposed to be here. But eating healthier for me brings down my stress levels. My body's able to function a lot more functionally to where I'm not having a lot of aches and pains, stresses, bowel issues, brain issues, whatever the case that sometimes that these unhealthy diets bring for a lot of people. But these are just a couple of ways that I want to discuss how to
alleviate stress.
And all these things are free. And again, like I said earlier, it boils down to you. You're the individual who makes these ultimate decisions to lower the stress. So why not do it? Lower your stress. Have control over your eating, finances, and a lot of the other things you do. When you have control, you'll do well. And throw back to Adam.
Boom. All right. What up, everybody? This is the conclusion of the podcast.
What's the conclusion? I got the hypothesis, the procedures, and then the last part is the conclusion over here.
So, just kind of wrap it all up. Just stress comes through many different avenues in our life, and it's just for us to kind of recognize where it's coming from in order to, as I said earlier, mitigate it and then alleviate the different stresses. But it's always good to have a little bit of stress in your life.
Yeah, that's how you get strength, and that's how you get better at what you do.
So just so you know, stress is always gonna be there in some form, but just try to have it at a low level, because some people like stress. It kind of helps them, motivates them to do things, and boom, 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 gets them on high alert. And
lights a fire under
people enjoy that. But I mean, with me, like, it's good at times, but I'd rather kind of take my time a little bit. Have a little bit more finesse, get it done right.
Yeah,
and
like a duck. I remember from years ago at this one company I worked at, a duck. You see the duck on the water, and you think that duck has not a stress in his life. But then under the water, he's kicking like crazy. So there is a little bit of stress. We are going to experience a little stress, but like Adam said, have some finesse in the process.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just stress, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. It all kind of depends on how you look at it. But take care of your life. You only got one, and make it be the best.
Cliche.
Wow. Make it be the best as possible to minimize your stress within your life. So this concludes the podcast, unless Aaron has anything else to say.
No, just come on, people. Try to decrease your stress.
So thank you all for listening to our How to Mitigate Stress podcast. This has been TWNRGY Podcast. I'm Adam, and
I'm Aaron over here.
all right, love you all. Get after it.
Take care.